Hello, you all, it's Agnes from Just a Perfect Piece coming to you with another MacKenzie Child inspired project. As you can see, as I do have all my paint together, and I decided to actually spray paint my pumpkin before I start to work on the design. So as you can see is I already, my pumpkin is actually being spray painted right now and it's drying. So I'm trying to create my own stencils out of the picks that I simply pull apart from my pick. I also have a stencils that I purchased from the Dollar Tree, but these are feathers. I'm just trying to fill up my time as my pumpkin is drying. So again, simple outline. Of course, it's not going to be perfect, but it's just at least to get the shape, makes my life a little bit easier. See, I'm adjusting here and there, and now quickly I'm going to cut it out, and I hope by the time I finish playing with this, my pumpkin is dry. Well, this leaf is kind of funny looking, so I am going to cut another one I just outlined from my pink, and we'll see how that's going to actually work on my pumpkin. It's, again, as you know me, I love to try things out and see what works the best. I mean, of course, I'm waiting for my pumpkin to dry. This one for sure looks much better. Okay, so my pumpkin is sort of dry, and now it's time to make the markings. I'm not going to really fuss around since I'm going to have already additional stencils on it. So I'm just going to create the black and white stripes that are going to sit right on it. So what I'm trying to do right now is just simply plan how many stripes and how wide of a stripes I'm going to have to make sure that my stripes are alternating. And now it's time to paint everything and outline it. And of course, I know myself, my lines are going to be growing as I paint, but that's okay. I just need to make sure that the lines are straight. So see, now I usually like to start with the black paint and then go over with the a white in the other spaces. And as you can see is my spacing, as I told you, it's going to get the wider and wider because now I decided since the pumpkin is not on a bigger side, it will be nicer to have those stripes wider versus more. Of course, you got to continue with them somehow right on the bottom of the pumpkin and try to make sure that it does look good. But as I'm looking at it and I'm painting, it seems like one coat, maybe even more than two, will have to cover this whole pumpkin nicely. Okay, now I'm going to repeat the same process with the white paint, obviously filling in between and trying to make sure that my lines are straight. Same story over again, but I've actually loved that process. So now my 2 or 3 coats of white and black paint are just applied, and it's time to make that transition between the black and white with a little bit of the gold. This gold is really magic. It really changes the overall look of the whole pumpkin. I mean, it is really amazing how quickly everything is changing. As you can see is as I was having fun painting my gold lines, I was putting my pumpkin down, and markings on the paper that's supposed to protect my pumpkin actually made the little lines. So guess what? I had to go over. So now I'm waiting. I waited until all dries out, and it's time to try my templates that I made from my leaf. So I decided to go with this wonky looking paper plate, paper leaf. So now I am going to place them randomly all over my pumpkin and fill them up, of course, with the gold. So here we go. I just had to mark it off all over again because I actually, on the black portion of my stripe, it wasn't really showing. It was only a sheen. So here we go. I'm filling this all up. And it's again the same thing like with black and white. It's not going to fill it in with one coat of gold paint, even though it is pretty good paint. I'm just going to let it dry, and in the meantime outline my paper leaves all over my pumpkin and just have fun. Did not want to put too many leaves, so I decided to, I think 5 were plenty. So now I brought a little bit of the brown paint that I'm going to mix a little bit with my gold and create sort of a variation inside each leaf, and of course create the stem and just simply have fun with additional color. Course, on the black portion, this is what I wasn't thinking. Obviously, my brown paint is not going to be as much visible, so I decided to actually go a little bit more with the gold. And I actually do enjoy, and I do like what I'm seeing right now. And I cannot wait to show you the final product soon. Have to admit, getting the inside variation on a gold when it's so shiny, it was not easy. But you know what? I use my finger here and there, outline little lines, and I am okay with this. So now it's time to work on my stem, I think. Little bit of the gold, of course, to keep it all united and obviously elegant. And I actually do love the way that plastic stem is being formed. So I'm not going to change anything about that. Now I'm satisfied with everything that it looks, and it's time to add additional coat of the Match Patch to simply get the even more sheen to my pumpkin. It seems like my sponge brush wasn't really working for me this time, so I decided to bring the big guns and use my wider brush and just evenly spread my Match Patch all around. I am so excited the way it looks right now. So I'm going to just simply leave it for a good hour and let the sheen come out. And here it goes. Here is the pumpkin. I mean, it's still not 100% dry, but I was anxious to make the pictures for you. So as you can see, the Match Patch is really doing a pretty good job and mask all the imperfections. I could not be more pleased with the way my pumpkin looks right now. And my baby pumpkin that I painted with you on one of the live is actually holding beautifully right next to it. So I really hope that you did enjoy this project and I inspired you to make one for yourself. So it's again, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.